Hello, it is Thursday, February 9th, 2017. My name is Doris, and this is the Knit and Purl Podcast, episode 118, title, It Was a Knitty Stashy Vacation. You can find the show notes for this podcast on knitandpurl.net. The Purl is P-E-A-R-L. You can communicate with me through the Ravelry group, which there will be a link, or you can email me at the Knit and Purl Podcast, knitandpurlpodcast.gmail.com. There'll be a link. I'll put a link somewhere. Out of practice, I guess. Anyway, you can also find me in social media. I am One Fine Cow, all spelled out. On Ravelry and Twitter, I am One Fine Design, the number one, on Facebook and Etsy, and I'm Doris M. Smith, all lowercase and smooshed together on Instagram. Please go and there's links in the show notes. You can go and click on each of those things and find me and follow me, and I'll follow you back. Especially if you have some form of crafting in your feeds. This podcast has a Ravelry group, which is the Knit and Purl Podcast group. Link is also in the show notes. And also we do a Ravelry group birthday shout out every podcast. And this time I went from February 1st until February 14th. And there was a lot of birthdays in February. First one, I don't know how to say her name. Snotestine, who is Shannon. Her birthday was on the 1st of February. We have Knittin' Nanny 68, who is Carolyn. Her birthday was also on the 1st of February. We have Knitty Sue, who is Sue. Her birthday was on the 6th of February. Another one I don't know how to pronounce, Pprahl, who is Pat. Her birthday is on the 8th, was on the 8th of February. Lalik, who is Layla. Her birthday was on the 8th as well. We have 121, who is Carla. Her birthday is on the 12th. Or February 12th. And finally, we have Sissy Knit Crochet, who is Kimberly. Her birthday is also on the 12th. So, happy birthday to you all. I hope that you did have or will have a wonderful birthday, that you get to do like everything that you want to do, that you get nice gifts and get to spend time with friends and family, and that you eat birthday cake. Yes. If you choose to. So that brings us to Story of the Weekend, Stash Enhancement, which, as most of you know, Ted and I left on the 27th of January and traveled down to Florida, to Destin, Mymar Beach, Florida, and spent a wonderful 7 days by the ocean, by the Gulf. Okay, I say it's the ocean, but it's the Gulf, which I don't know the difference. I say it's the ocean. It was the first time I saw the ocean, and it was incredible. So, yeah. We had a very wonderful, very great, we had a wonderful time, great weather, great friends to be with, and yeah, it was amazing. Very relaxing. So, but I did do some stashing. So, I'm going to show you the stuff. I didn't write it in the show notes because there's a lot. So, they do have a Michaels, which I know they have a Michaels where I'm from, but, you know, they have different things at different Michaels. So I went to Michaels. I've got 2 of these Karen cakes. This is called strawberry kiwi, greens and pinks and orange and pretty. And I got 2 of these. And I'm thinking a blanket. We shall see. A small blanket. Not, obviously it won't be a big one, but... Or it could be a shawl. Who knows? I probably should have got 3 if I wanted it to be a blanket, but... It's pretty. I like it. And I also got... some of these emoji beads. These were so cute and had different ones. The heart, you know, the heart, the love bead, the love emoji. Oops. I love this one. Whoops. So, like I said, there's like a bunch of different ones, so I'm excited and looking forward to making some more progress keepers with these. Time, you know. So that was Michael's, and then we went Tuesday to the yarn shop that I went online and looking because I knew where it was going to be. The Destin Yarn Shop, which I recommend. They are right off of the Emerald Coast on 98. Easy to find. The owner is very nice, very wonderful, and stocks a wonderful shop. So I got one of these, which is a needle keeper, and I've already organized some of my needles. What? So cool. I had all my needles in a bag, and every time I needed a certain needle, I had to like dig through the bag and pull everything out and get it. So this one I've organized smaller to larger, so with a good number of needles. So I love that. I needed that. And I got some other stuff, some yarn. I got 3 balls. I'll show you this. Of Plymouth Yarn Company's Galloway. This color, these are numbers. The colors are numbers. This is 162. This one is also a Galloway. You can see $8. Oops. And the number is 139. Oh Lord, upside down. And finally, this one, they're worsted. It's a pretty brown. So these 3 are going to be, I bought them with the purpose of making another blanket. Cozy blanket. So then I also got this lovely stuff, which is some Carlton Alpaca Divine, which is 10% alpaca, 10% wool, and 80% acrylic. It's kind of a fingering or light fingering lace weight, because there's like 100 grams and 601 yard. So I thought it was gorgeous. Let's see if it has a colorway name. Nope. Color 14. Yeah, it's in the ballpark of my colors, and it's pretty true. So that, and I got 2 little balls of, this one's my first Regia. The light's kind of blowing it out. Yeah, my first Regia. This color is also a number. And this one is Baby Smiles, my first Regia. Pretty. And here are the numbers. This just for some minis to do something with. Let me look and see if there's something else. And I bought a needle. I bought a couple of needles because I didn't just go to the yarn store once. I went twice. This time I got, it was just one needle. It was a US 9 47-inch Chalgu. So that's all on that trip. Sorry for the bag crinkling. And then I went back because the needle I got, albeit was a good needle and I'll use it, it wasn't the size I wanted. So I went back for the needle and got a few more things. I went back to get a US 9 5.5 24-inch circular, a Chalgu, to finish a project. So I got that. And then I got a sock yarn, Pixie, and the colorway is Cake Party. I think that's funny because, you know, birthday cake, whatever. So I really like the colors, pinks and greens and reds. So pretty. And I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I'm thinking the Sock Knitters shawl by K.F. Jones. Yes. And I got a skein of Galloway in the red colorway for the Read Along coming up. Well, the Read Along, which I haven't started anything on. And we'll talk about, and I forgot to write that. Oh, shoot. Okay. We'll make it work. And I got this skein of Plymouth yarn. I got a lot of Plymouth yarn, but I like it. This is Jelly Beans, 75% acrylic, 25% wool, and there is not a color name. But I think online it's like raspberry. It's 2385. I'm big online because I looked for it online because I was trying to decide if I wanted to get more, but we'll talk about that when we get to the... And I got some more silk in the Celebration scent. And you can't see it. Can you see it? Okay. Okay, that is a lot of stash. So, I forgot to put in my notes the February, March knit along we have going. So I'm just going to do this, and then before I post the notes, I will make sure that gets in the notes. So, the read along is for Valentine's and for heart health. The knit along will run between February 1st and March 15th, 2017. You must be a member of the group to qualify for prizes. Entry is anything in shades of red. So it doesn't have to be specifically red. It could be like something that has some red in it, like the sock yarn had red in it. that type of thing. I'm not like real specific, but you can have as many entries as items completed using at least 100 yards of yarn and posted by March 15th. Please, while you're knitting in your reds, think about your Valentine, the loved ones in your life, and also think and pray for those that you know who have heart issues. As you know, we need to be aware, be aware of people with heart conditions and heart issues. Chatter is welcome and encouraged in the thread, and prizes are to be determined, to be announced, because truthfully, I'm just trying to acclimate myself back to normal life right now. So that's why things are a little not great as far as my organizational skills. So we've already done the story and stash. So I have a health pearl this week, which is, it's actually a recipe for some avocado or chocolate avocado pudding, but it also is an article that touts the benefits of avocados. It's just avocado chocolate pudding. Well, could you imagine making this luscious dessert with avocados? I was surprised just as you were, but it really is good and it is beneficial for your health. Avocados have a lot of health benefits. They help with anti-aging in your cells. They fight the free radicals that are in you, and also increases progesterone in women and testosterone in men. I'm not going to go through the whole article because some of the words I would mispronounce and it wouldn't be pretty. So anyway, avocados are the best source of healthy fat. Okay, the best source of natural and healthy fat is the avocado for sure. Also, it has 20 other nutrients as well, which is potassium, fiber, vitamin E, B complex, calcium, folic acid, magnesium, iron, sodium, and boron. I didn't know what boron was. I looked it up, and it is a mineral that helps with the growth and healthy support of your body. So this fruit helps your body to get the most of fat nutrition, the fat soluble, of other foods and fruits and vegetables too. Alpha and beta carotene among other nutrients, and lutein as well. Avocado has antifungal and antibacterial benefits too, which keep the immune system intact. They also offer you amino acid. I told you. Anyway, this amino acid helps cleanse the liver, keeps good weight, and healthy brain. So the recipe for this chocolate avocado pudding, you will need 3 avocados, which are ripe and soft, 1/4 cup of cocoa powder, 6 tablespoons of coconut milk, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 2 teaspoons of coconut oil, and 2 tablespoons of honey. So you take all of the ingredients, put it in a blender, blend it on high for like 1 to 2 minutes or until it's smooth. Then you refrigerate it for up to half an hour, and there are 2 servings in this. So let me take you back to the beginning so you can see. This looks delicious. A nice healthy snack that is decadent and good for you. It's healthy. So there's the health pearl for the day. So this brings us into the knitting portion of our podcast, which is the finished objects. And I have some finished objects again because it's been 3 weeks since I posted last, since I podcast last. So let me get the color. That's okay. The first thing I finished is this hand spun, which is, and when I say finished, I mean I was done messing with it, is this stuff that I was balling up, and Ted said, why don't you just like respin this? So I tried it and it worked, but I was done. I needed something a little more easier and fun to knit, or to spin. So this, I spun a bobbin, then I chain plied it, and it was a little, had a little extra energy, but I soaked it for like 20 minutes, and I did my thwacking the way I whatever you say. Oh boy. Thwack. And then I hung it up to dry with a little bit of weight, so it stretched it out, and it is not as high energy. And I got 70 yards, which is also red, and I can use during the knit along. I was contemplating maybe making some of the knitted hearts that are from Susan B. Anderson on her yarn website. The pattern is free on her yarn website. I'm contemplating that. That's the first finished object. I finished I think I finished this before I finished this. I finished my cozy Schlanket mystery knit along, and I'm so proud of it. It is gorgeous, if I must say so myself. So I'm backing up so you can see it in all its glory. And then I'll bring it closer. I didn't measure it. I washed it and blocked it. It's lovely. It's a nice, big, comfy shawl. I'm so proud of it. This is like the fastest I've ever knitted a shawl, especially a big one like this. But I guess it's because of the yarn being a worsted in. But I just absolutely love this so much. It was fun to knit. Thank you so much, Mina, for this pattern. So the Cozy Schlanket Mystery Knit Along is a paid-for pattern on Ravelry by Mina Phillips. The needles I used were US 8s, 5mm, 40-inch circular, and I used the Chowgu lace. The yarn was Knit Picks Wool of the Andes in Wonderland Heather, Grass, and Winter Night is the navy-ish blue color. That's all I have to say about it. I love it. Let me show you how it fits. Just the way I like a shawl to fit. I like to wear a shawl this way because, you know, I'm an old lady. I don't know that I can wear this for very long, but this next finished object, I finished these two. I finished before we left for vacation, and then this one I finished while we were on vacation. Yeah, I can't wear this. I finished the potato chip scarf, which is a free pattern on Ravelry by Crafty Cash. The yarn is Red Heart Super Saver. artist print. I love the color. It reminds me of the Monet painting with the field of flowers. And let me see what else. I used US 10.5, which is a 6.5 millimeter. I used the clover needles. So this was finished in Florida. Not only this, but this was also finished in Florida. This is Zuzu's Petals, which is a paid for pattern on Ravelry by, this is by Karina Spencer. The yarn is Red Heart Super Saver in the zebra colorway. The needles, I used the US 9 5.5 millimeter, and I started it with the Addi Turbos 40-inch circulars, but I went to the yarn store and I got 47 because I was doing a wonky magic loop, and I got probably about in here, and I'm like, no, that's not gonna work. So I went back to get a 24-inch, and I did to finish it. But while I was there the second time, I ran into a lady from Canada who is also a left-handed knitter, and we were talking about the trials and tribulations of being a left-handed knitter. And she said, oh, you know, so I'm telling you what I learned, that you're supposed, she told me, you know, you're supposed to switch your slip knits and your knit twos together. So if you come to a pattern and you come to a slip knit and there's an opposing knit two together, as a left-handed knitter who knits from the right needle to the left needle, I needed to switch that and make it, instead of slip knit, make it a knit two together, and then my slip knit becomes, my knit two together becomes a slip knit. So I was like, yeah, but mine seems to always turn out, and I pulled this out of my bag because I brought the bag with me to try to get an idea of what size I really needed. So she said, yeah, you need to do that, because I said, so she showed me, and I'm going to show you if I can, if you can see it in the camera, that this portion right here, I did it according to the pattern, and I got this type of, which isn't bad, but it's markedly different than when I did it the way I'm supposed to do it. Let me see if I can find it, which is here. I switched it the way I was supposed to here, and you can see it's the same type of stitch, and it's like more, it's just if I wish that I could show you better what I'm talking about. So here is, let me see if I can show it to you like this. Here is, up here, I'm sorry, up here is the way that I did it before, and here is what it looks like done right here. If you can tell, I don't know if you can tell what the, but anyway, I went to Florida. I got to spend time with some knitters and some wonderful people, family and friends, and Ted, but I also learned something at the knit store, so I'm very happy about that. This, I also, when I finished knitting it, you know, I did some research on how to block acrylic, and I steam blocked this, which I'm going to do again because I had a poor iron, and this part right here is not what I want it to be. So I'm going to reblock it with my new steam iron. But steam iron on acrylic really is pretty awesome. So this came out so much more drapier and nice than it was prior to steam blocking. So that is my Zuzu's petals in the zebra colorway. Okay, whew, this is going to be a long one. I hope that's okay. Not really long, but longer than normal. Whips. I have 3 new whips. I started with this new yarn. I started another Mermaid Tail Lapgan blanket for children. There is a link in the show notes to the pattern, which is a paid-for pattern that I got from Etsy by Marta Selter. The yarn is Plymouth Yarns, the Jelly Bean, the colors. And I'm also, this won't knit the whole thing. The other yarn that I'll be using is some pink from my stash. So here's what I have. The beginning of this pattern is a huge knit 2, purl 2, 7 inches of ribbing. I started this on Sunday when we got home from Florida. There you have it. I like the color. I like it, and it's going to go well with any pink for the body of it, I'm sure. So there we have it. That's new project number 1. Out of frame for a moment. New project number 2 in my bag from Thank God for Bags, which I need to link. Okay. I've got to do some work on my show notes, but here it is. I love this bag. Sheila does awesome work. Thank God for Bags. I have a zipper pull that is a shovel, heart-shaped shovel with the word love in it. I love it. Anyway, I started another World's Simplest Mitten, which is a free pattern on Ravelry by Tin Can Knits. I'm doing a fingerless pair with some recaptured yarn, which next time I do this, I'll have it. I think it's a Malabrigo Mecca. It's a fingering weight. I told you I recaptured my yarn. The needles are, I'm getting lost. The needles are US 0, which is a 2mm, and US 0 and a US 2, which is a 2.75. I'm doing 40 inch, so it's a magic loop. And that's all. I started this when I finished all my other projects. I brought this along to start on the trip, so I started it when I was done with the other 2 projects I brought. So that's as far as I've gotten. I'm almost ready to switch to the bigger needles for the body of the mitten. So that's all of the works in progress. No, that's not all. I have one more project. I'm doing a modified cozy schlanket. With this beautiful Karen cake, which is, the color is, where is it? The color is blueberry cheesecake. I'm lost. Yeah, blueberry cheesecake. The needles are my Chagu 9, US 9, 5.5, 47-inch circulars. And I'm modifying the pattern without giving away the secret sauce because I'm using a Karen cake and not switching. I'm not doing the transitions in between each section. I'm just knitting the sections longer. Sorry. Excuse me. Knitting each section longer to take up for the transitions, and hopefully it'll be pretty. Just trying something. There you have it. I started this also Sunday when I returned home because I'm knitting it for a friend who has done some wonderful things for me, so I want to do something wonderful for her. There you have it. And I have 2 balls of this, which probably will be mostly used because it's going to be a big schlanket. Only just modified slightly. So, moving along to, I did not spin anything. I have a Pinterest find, which I thought was pretty. I don't know why. I guess I'm thinking about food this week because my Pinterest is recipes, albeit healthy recipes. I actually zoomed in on the banana and chocolate chip oatmeal cups, but the actual pen is 9 healthy breakfast cup recipes to fuel your mornings. They look delicious, and there are 9 different ones. So there's a link in the show notes so you can peruse, and maybe you'll find your favorite of the healthy cups for breakfast. But this is the one that caught my eye. The recipe has no gluten. There is a small video showing how to make it. No audio, or I didn't have any audio. So here's what it looks like. Delish. Get to the ingredients. It calls for rolled oats, ground cinnamon, nutmeg, baking powder, salt, which I would probably not put in, 2 eggs, maple syrup, 2 bananas ripe and mashed up, vanilla extract, like a 1% milk, or this one they use like almond milk. I guess you could probably use coconut milk too. And coconut oil, melted coconut oil, and mini chocolate chips. So, let's see. It doesn't say the calories. 202 calories, 6 fibers, 1 protein, 25 Weight Watcher points. So it's a very good breakfast that will give you extra fiber and some protein. And I think it would taste yummy. So there you have it. Let me go back. Okay, that's it. If you're interested, click on the link in the show notes and go look at it yourself. There's no stumble, which is a good thing since I'm at 38 minutes. Finally, there is a link in the bottom of the show notes to my, and down below, to my Etsy store. Please go look at it. Like some stuff, give me some love, and I would thank you so much. And if you find something that you can't live without, I would happily let you buy it, and I will ship it to you as soon as possible. Thank you so much, you guys. I missed talking to you and seeing you and doing a podcast last week. So I'll talk to you later. Have a wonderful weekend, a great week next week, and I'll see you next time. Bye.